Når helgen nærmer seg, spør alle hva jeg gjør da. Jeg hitter kløden som om hver dag var en lørdag.
Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be starting a new series. You can say a kind of new conversation. This is all about India's healthcare, and let us begin some discussion. Let us have a conversation about our healthcare delivery system in India. How far it is able to provide each and every individual of our country. What are the different healthcare facilities available in a rural sector? What are the different healthcare facilities available in urban sector? So all type of studies, discussions, conversations will do, and let us start speaking for everyone. Let us start have a voice for the this ongoing problems, ongoing situations. So this episode, this series of video will be covering all sorts of the difficulties, the problems in healthcare system of our country, and what should be done. That also will discuss in subsequent videos, and also the present the problems that also will cover up in subsequent videos. So today I will be discussing on the rural areas healthcare delivery system. So what are the different healthcare delivery system, or what are the different healthcare facilities available in a rural sector of India context. So basically in a rural India there are three tiers of healthcare delivery system. That is called three-tier system. So what are they? They are comprises of sub-center, primary health center, that is called PSC, then community health center, that is called CSC. So these are the three basic healthcare organization or facilities available to the rural India. So what do you mean by sub-center? What do you mean by PSC, primary health center, and what do you mean by community health center? So each of them I will going to discuss. So each sub-center comprises of population size 3,000 in hilly and tribal areas, and 5,000 population in plain area. Staffing patterns are like at least one ANM, auxiliary nurse midwife, or health worker female, and one health worker male. And under NRHM, which was been earlier have been implemented, that is called like another assisting person in a sub-center, that is called ASA. That is accredited social health activist, in a short acronym, that is ASA. So she used to be associated with the sub-center, with a health worker. So these are the staffing pattern in a sub-center. So basically sub-center is the most peripheral part of a healthcare delivery system. So that is the first contact of a primary health care to the community level. So basically functions of a sub-center through ANM or health worker is about engagement or personal interaction to the community, to an individual, related to personal hygiene, related to nutrition, related to prevent such infectious disease, let it be diarrhea, may it be malaria, and another most important thing is immunization. So these are the basically function of a subcenter. So basically it is all about preventive healthcare and also promotion of healthcare in a community. So that's the basic function of a subcenter. So basically this salary and all this are funded by central government, particularly to this auxiliary nurse midwife. And second thing, second component we will discuss is primary health center, that is PSC. PSC also constituted with a population size 20,000 in tribal and hilly areas and 30,000 in a plain area. So in a PSC that is headed by a medical officer, and medical officer again assisted with 4 or 5 paramedical staff, and with a indoor bed capacity around 4 to 5, and with a minimum basic treatment requisites available to the primary health center. So in a primary health center function is that is the first contact of a community to a doctor. That is what actually primary objective of primary health center. So this is also related to curative aspect as well as preventive and promotive aspect of a healthcare of a community, that is carried away by medical officer. So this is all about primary health center, function of health center. And third, which is actually to be called as first referral unit, that is community health center. Community health center again comprises of population size in a tribal and hilly areas with a population of 80,000, and in a plain area it is 1,20,000 population. So then again, what are the different staffing pattern in a community health center? In a community health center, there are 4 specialists, 1 surgeon, general surgeon, second is obstetric or gynecologist, third is a pediatrician, and fourth is physician, medicine specialist. So these are the 4 main specialists with a indoor patient intake capacity 30 patients, 30 bedded hospital, and this unit is being accompanied or assisted with around 20-21 paramedical staffs, along with in a community health center there should be 1 operation theatre, laboratory testing facilities, then X-ray facilities, and blood storage facilities. That is all about in a community health center. So this is the basic structure of rural healthcare system. So one more point which I wanted to point out is CSC also designated as first referral unit, provided 3 important things are being happening. One is 24 hours blood and blood product facilities or blood storage facilities available. Second is emergency obstetric care, like emergency cesarean section 8, etc. And third is emergency newborn care. So these facilities has to be there in a community health center, so that is to be termed as first referral unit. So this is the basic structure in a rural sector of India. So some of the data and statistic I just want to put forward before you guys, because this will help us to discuss further when we will discuss more in details about rural healthcare, urban healthcare, shortcomings, problems, difficulties. So just for the record, this data is of 31st March 2017. The total numbers of sub-center available at that time was 1 lakh, around 1,25,000, sorry, 1,56,000 sub-center was functioning in 2017 till 31st March, and PSC numbers was around 25,600, and CSC numbers till 31st March 2017 was let me see the numbers exactly. Around 5,000 something, 5,000 something. So guys, let me tell you. So this video is not all about so-called educational purpose. Data has to be correct, but I am giving just rough figures to make you understand subsequent series of videos related to healthcare healthcare infrastructure, healthcare issues, healthcare problems of India. So this is what I am giving you rough figure. Whatever, if you really wanted to have a correct figure, you can Google it. You can go through the different website and you can find out. That's my disclaimer, you can say. So don't be feel that it's I am giving accurate and exact everything, but it's just rough figure I am giving for our subsequent videos discussion. So this is all about today's video, short videos. This is, you can tell, you can say this is my starting videos to have a series of conversation, series of information as well. I'll give you what is the real problem happening in India. What is the real problem? Where is the real problem? What is the real problem? How it can be resolved? And so we should not think or just expect government will do everything. Now it has proved. Now we have to raise our voice. We have to raise our concern. We have to raise our what we supposed to get in a democratic country, in a democratic way. So this is all about. Please understand this video is all about information, conversation. You can comment me down. You can write it under comment section. What is your points against? What is your points favoring? What is your criticism? Everything is accepted, allowed, and we will discuss and have a dialogue and discussion. That's what my this kind of video series which I am about to think of to do in a regular basis. As you know, if you see in a day-to-day or a daily basis the news channels, so-called national medias, what news they are doing, what the news they are actually showing us. All I say ethics of journalism has died off. Literally, ethics of journalism has killed. What they are doing, they are trying to sensationalize certain things, and they never give you exact problems to be solved, exact information to be shown to public. As you know, as everyone knows, this problem is happening. So let us raise our voice to have a better health, because you cannot imagine people how they are being treated by this kind of machinery system of our country, and many people are not getting adequate, appropriate, on-time treatment. Because of that, they are dying off. No one should die off just because someone is not getting adequate treatment, appropriate treatment, and on-time treatment. It is all about us to raise the voice against these wrongdoings, wrong things happenings in around. If you look at different newspapers which are coming maybe in a social media platform, recently I got to know one doctor who was in a center where he was treating COVID patients. So he got COVID-19 infection and suffered from COVID-19 illness. And irony is that he didn't get any hospital bed, any kind of treatment when he was required. And ultimately, that doctor died of. He died of. He could not have died. His death was preventable, so to say. He didn't get any kind of help, any kind of treatment from a hospital. He didn't get any bed. So he roamed around. He rejected from 3-4 hospitals, and at last he died from COVID-19 infection. So this is the reality in our country. So let us jointly we should raise our voice. What that I am talking about by this video series. So guys, stay tuned to my channel, subscribe my channel, and lot more things yet to come. Till then, bye, stay safe.